welcome to another episode of Dragon Time. Today is all about energy and motion, which are our emotions. I'm feeling called to talk about that today. So, there is a full moon coming up on the 9th. So, I will invite you all to do whatever resonates with you for a ritual or ceremony to release all the things that are no longer serving you, to empty your backpack, so to speak, like we were talking about in the last episode. So yeah, it's real important these next couple of days. I'm experiencing this as well. That's why I'm sharing that we need to find ways to ground and get that energy to move. I just came back from a long walk. I did some yoga. And I'm still feeling a little ungrounded, but I'm going to move on and keep going with this video because I feel it's important. And so the energy of today is asking us to be a peaceful warrior, pay attention to and integrate our shadow, the aspects of ourselves that we do not necessarily like. Some of those, so, we can pay attention to those things and make peace with them, and then you can release them now or on the full moon. If something is really, really eating at me and something really needs to go and I need to pay attention to it and work with it, before the full moon I will. And then if it's still there during the actual full moon energy, then it goes into the fire pit again. So, you don't necessarily have to do the full moon ritual on the full moon only. It's actually a process. So what is happening with that full moon energy is that is amplifying anything else that you're unaware of and facilitating the movement of that energy out of you and out of your system. So actually, it just occurred to me that maybe when we start the actual dragon reading, we're going to go ahead and also bring in the sage and the Palo Santo again, which I will link again at the bottom in the description, as well as the cards and anything else that I'm feeling called to use in this episode. I brought out a rose that my son gave to me yesterday. That loving energy will help me stay grounded and centered, not fly off into outer space. Because, highly empathic and intuitive, and when I woke up this morning, I definitely felt the energy of that full moon amplifying and increasing. And it's going to only continue to increase until it apexes and we have the actual full moon. So, I also brought out this Merkaba. Thought it would be cool. Some more healing energy, positive energy. It's actually the cosmos, which is nice. not an accident that I was called to bring this out, and that this is showing the universe. It's a sacred geometric shape. I may go into it later on in another video where I talk about sacred geometry. It's a passion of mine, and I really resonate with it, so it is going to come up in all of my videos, and I may devote a special segment to it. Let's see. Before I continue with the rest of this pep talk, I'll bring in my painting. This is called Language of the Universe, and literally that is source energy circling around, or this is, all of this is radiating out. It's a mandala, and I feel that the Tibetans got it right with the way the universe is set up and the way it works. It is, in fact, a mandala. And there are some exciting scientific physics breakthroughs that I have been following since 2020, and one of those is the E8 dimension, which when you mathematically represent that, it is in fact a mandala, which was actually the inspiration for this piece. And yeah, so everything that is written in that circle is part of the language of the universe. We have the Heart Sutra along the outside, and in the inner, in the second inner part is all the chakras, another language and way of relating to the energy, followed by the constellations, because the chakras are also connected to the constellations. And then inside here is some light language, and then around the inner circle is all the different languages for 369, which is a very powerful number. It's used for manifestation. Tesla channeled it in his work, and so it's very, powerful, powerful number. So, and then of course, the Eye of Ra is in the middle, Great Central Sun again. So, and that energy, I'll get more into it in another video, possibly, is representative of I'm sure many of you have probably heard in some way of the Law of One. It's been been talked about a lot on YouTube and just about everywhere else in the spiritual community. So I deeply resonated with that teaching, and that is also the representative of the source energy as it expanded out within the flower of life. So before I move on, I'll just say that you can also, I will link where you can view, purchase, and see if any of it resonates with you, my artwork, including this piece, my Etsy shop. And I will link that in the description at the bottom. It's artforthesoul.online. And so, moving on, we will go ahead and get back into some other key points that I wanted to mention. So as this energy is moving because it cannot stay in one spot. It needs to move out and change. And so we are also working with transmuting this energy, not getting caught up in and letting that movement and that change going on inside of us overtake us. I am speaking from experience here. Countless times I have let that happen, and then I have to pull myself out of that, because then it becomes a spiral down. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to spiral down. I prefer to spiral up. So hopefully this talk, this video, the things I'm sharing with you, and the energy of the dregs that I'm bringing in will help you to do that, because it's helping me. And that's why I want to share that. Something also that as I was listening to my pep talk this morning, in my meditations, it was brought up that this is the time to also find your tribe. Find those you belong with, that you resonate with, to help you on your spiritual journey. The solar plexus is the chakra of the day. So we'll be doing breath work relating to that and clearing that energy center of our body. That's the drive, the forceful movement of the energy that is moving up and being created in the first two chakras. Let's see. Also, facing fears. That's going to be big. The moon and the energy of that amplifies that. And thank God I haven't heard much about Black Moon Lilith lately. That energy will amplify your fears and bring them to the surface to be looked at. Haven't heard about that. A lot of mentioning about Chiron. I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not going to go into that, and I'm not going to claim that I know anything about that, other than I use that for guidance for myself. There are many experts that can help you with that. Find one that you resonate with. I will research and link in this description the service and the teachings I resonated with that really, really helped me and it helped me apply it to my life. It's the Sirius joy that I mentioned in the last episode, where I get those daily affirmations from. Those are based on that astrology teaching and energy. And I find them helpful for me, so I'm sharing them with you. Let's see. Oh, another thing also to remember, thoughts become things. I'm sure you've heard this countless times from many teachers and teachings, if you've been on the spiritual path for any length of time. They do. I notice in my own personal life that if I continue to let a thought circulate that is life negating and lowers my energy, I will find and resonate situations, draw situations to me and into my experience that reflect that. And yeah, so it's super important, but you don't have to spend all your energy and focus on it, because then you cannot focus on anything else that you need to. But just keep it in the back of your mind and your thoughts that just pay attention. And if you notice a thought that does not resonate with your heart, that lowers your vibration, that does not make you feel like you belong, like you feel good, then take a look at that. And there are many methods that you can use to shift that and change it. I'm not saying put a Band-Aid on it and treat the symptom and not the cause, but to snap you out of that mindset, it is a good way to snap you out. And then once you are out, you may wish to go back and look at that thought that caused you to be thrown out of alignment and see how you can transmute that and work with it and make peace with it, release it, listen to what it may be trying to tell you, because emotions, in addition to being energy in motion and the movement of those energies, it's a form of communication. It's a language, just like this painting is language of the universe. Emotions are the language of our emotional energy body, and it's important to pay attention to those and the thoughts behind those, because as with the law of attraction in any aspect, the more a certain vibration gains momentum, the more likely that will manifest into your experience. So if you can catch it before, you can catch that energy and that emotion before it gains momentum to go out into your actions and create this huge energy magnet, it's that much easier to reverse it and shift it back to where it needs to be. Let's see. So yeah, this energy is also asking us to have a new perspective. In general, have a new perspective, and a good way to do that is to go out into nature, try something new. Like again, today I had to go try a different route on my walk. And so, maybe on my morning walks, I won't go the same way every time now, because that actually does allow me to bring in new perspectives, new energies, new thoughts, new insights. So, and it also makes life more exciting. Nobody likes to be stuck in a rut. With that new perspective, we are being asked to pay attention with regards to our healing and our health, and all aspects of that. Everybody, including me, sometimes, well, I used to, not so much anymore, tend to focus only on the physical aspect of healing and health. Actually, when you notice it in the physical part of you, it has already moved through your energy, your thoughts, and your emotion, and then you weren't aware of it or chose not to pay attention to it. And in order for your soul to get you to look at that, it had no choice but to manifest into the physical. So then it becomes a little more challenging to heal that and to backtrack to see where it came from. If you can catch it in your mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects of you before it manifests into the physical, you have a much more easy road and can heal it a lot faster, and then you don't have to worry about your physical vessel being compromised in any way. Also, balance is important. Balancing all of the things that I have talked about, especially all those aspects of your whole entire being. Health is actually the harmony and the working together of all of those aspects. If any one of those is out of alignment, then your overall health is compromised. And then the final thing I want to mention is, heart versus the mind. So in the last two videos, I'm sure the last one especially, I mentioned that you need to pay attention and make sure that your mind is working for your heart, not the other way around. And so that you make all your decisions, and all your actions come from your heart and not your ego and your mind, because that will get you into some hot water, like it has gotten me into hot water a number of times. And I'm still working with that because, as human beings, we have that within us as a survival mechanism. And so to rewrite that and change it, it takes work. So, we've been programmed that way and our society is built that way. And now we are shifting out of that, but in the meantime, we have to learn to integrate and work with that shifting and not be afraid of it. And it's an uncomfortable change because we're used to coming from our egos and our mind and being logical and using our 3-pound pile of flesh up here. So, but it's so much more than that, and it's actually a system that works together. And when you don't focus, and when you put your focus on only one aspect, it doesn't flow and it doesn't work together well. So you have to use the two together. And your heart should be the predominant part of you that is guiding you into your decisions and how you present yourself and show up in the world. And then you use your mind and your ego to execute that. So now let's go ahead, and I think I'm being called to go ahead now, before I do the affirmations, and clear and move around some more energy using the Palo Santo and the sage again. I'm probably going to run out of my fire stick. So while I'm out today, I will be purchasing another one of these. You can get these at any store that sells this. They got this one probably at my hardware store near my house. Or I may have got it at the grocery store. I don't know. And yes, I'm out of fire. So, yeah. Hopefully we can get this to light enough to get something to happen, and then we'll just have to use our intent and our imagination for the rest. Yeah, I am out of fire. So we are going to use our imaginations this time. Going with the flow, right? So moving through all the chakras, imagine the fire or the smoke of the sage coming down and clearing all of those chakras, and going out through your feet. Oh, I forgot the root chakra back here. We need to definitely, for grounding, make sure this one is open and clear. And then I will imaginatively sage this space right here. Okay, and then Palo Santo, maybe I can get this to light. Let's see. Nope, it's not gonna light. So imagine the healing positive energy of Palo Santo cleansing, or infusing you with positive, loving, healing energy, going through all the chakras, behind in the root chakra, coming out through your feet, and then we will do that same for my space right here. Okay. Yeah, that was interesting. I prefer the actual smoke in the fire. But yeah, that was not possible today, so I will remember to put that on my list. Alright, so moving into the key affirmations that I resonated with and read this morning during my spiritual practice. So you can repeat them after me. You can write them down, pause the video and write them down in your journal if you wish to. I also, in the description, as I did in the previous one, I wrote a description of what I said in this video, a little synopsis, and then the dragon energy and the affirmations are all laid out there for you for later reference if you wish to take a look at them again and contemplate them again. It's very powerful to write things down, to get it from here, and the energy of that, move it out to here, and then it becomes physical. So writing stuff out is important. It seems repetitive sometimes, and I think to myself, why am I writing this out all the time? And some of it is the same thing. But no, it really does make a difference, because you're putting that out into the physical aspect of reality, which makes it gives it more momentum, and it's more magnetic. So let's go ahead and take a look at these. These are from Sirius Joy, and I didn't put it in the last one because I forgot, but this time I will try to find where I can link to that. The main person that runs this service is not feeling well, and he has stepped out to heal himself. So other people are stepping forward from the community to take over some of the things that he was doing. So, however, I think I can find an older video, because he had YouTube videos out like mine where he talked about the energy and the planets and the astrology and his own astrological step system that helps you move through all the states of consciousness. And I will find one of those videos and I will post it. You can watch it if you want. Some of the energy may still be relevant, but it's going to be probably an older episode. I don't believe that he's put out anything new since he had to take care of himself. But it will give you a link to go to this service called Sirius Joy where you can sign up. And literally, there's no reason not to if it resonates with you, because the first month is like $3. And anytime during that, you can cancel it and you will not be charged again. And I decided to keep it because it really was beneficial to me. But you will get a lot out of that first month, even if you don't continue. Anyway, let's continue with those affirmations. I am opening my heart to new perspectives, like I mentioned earlier, the new perspective thing. I am patient in my conversations today. So if you come out and have a conversation with somebody, full moon energy, you may be triggered. I may be triggered, so I need to remember this too. Anybody I interact with today, pause, take a step back, take a deep breath if you need to, and get centered in your heart, especially if it's a difficult conversation or if what was said triggered you in any way. Pull out. I say this for myself because sometimes I forget and I don't pull out, and then I just keep going with it, and then pretty soon I'm a hot mess. And that doesn't need to happen if you pull out before then. So just pay attention in any of your conversations and interactions with other people today that you are being patient and checking in with your heart before you respond. I am allowing my heart to guide my mind, like I said before, earlier in the talk. Please remember, and I'm saying this for myself, let your heart guide your mind. Your life will flow so much better, and it'll be so much easier for you to manifest and be who you're meant to be if you do that. I promise you. I'm speaking from experience. Clearly, everything that I say here, well, I draw upon other people's insights and messages. I also bring in my own experience, and a lot of what they have talking about, the reason it resonated with me is because I have experienced it. So, yeah. And the last affirmation is, I am finding what relationship my heart belongs in. So yeah, back to the little list I made up here. Yeah, where do you belong? And, finding your tribe. Find the place, the people, places, and situations that you belong in. And the only way you can find that out is to check with your heart. Your heart will tell you all the time, and it will be 100% right every time about whether or not you belong there. Okay, so we have some questions, and I think I'm about to, that was a very short video. We are going to pause before it switches over to something else. Let's go ahead for, that was some Aries full moon October music at 417 hertz frequency. Thought it would be good. That harmonic drumming is really good for grounding. So I appreciate that was a major part of that sound bath, if you will. And it was by Modern Headspace. So I feel like maybe since I used that in my video, I ought to also link that in my description. I use this music a lot. I really do. So let's see. It was the solar plexus today, so let's go ahead and bring in some solar plexus. There we go. Do some solar plexus. All right. This one is meditative mind. Okay, I will make sure to link this also in my description. I find it helpful during my meditations and everything. The chakra that I want to focus on, that I go ahead and I can listen to sound frequencies that bring in that energy and activate it, if you will. So let me just see. So yeah. So here's some questions that I thought really would be a good idea to practice if you choose to. like I said, if you want to answer that question I asked earlier, where do you belong? That is a good one, but these are some questions I answered this morning in my spiritual practice. When I see a person who is the epitome of health, what am I seeing? So when you see someone, or you think of someone, or you're watching TV, or you see a commercial, or whatever, what is your idea of perfect health? Things I wrote down were, emotionally grounded, physically active, full of energy and vitality. Because that's where it all starts. That's what I, when I see somebody like that, I assume they're healthy. But, nobody really knows what's going on inside another person. That it could be just the outward projection they want you to see. Because the next question actually is, how do I know when I see it? So in order to really know if you are, or you see someone and you think they are, run it through that heart filter, and you can feel, like I wrote down, I feel the energy, and then I know. So you can practice feeling intuitively that energy they're putting out, and it will tell you how they are actually doing. It's a good way to do it on it's good to do it on yourself too, because sometimes you wish and you want to project a different idea other than what's actually happening. And the only way to know how you are actually feeling without the filter of your mind putting band-aids on everything and flushing it out with logic is go into your heart and sit with it and be like, what am I feeling right now? How am I feeling today? How do I really feel? And then when you get that answer, then you know what needs to be healed, and you know what needs to be worked on, and you know what you need to do with that in order to get where you want to be in your health. And then the next question is, do I consider myself healthy? I wrote down for the most part, but not perfect health. I still am working on a lot of things. And so the second part of that question is, if you answer it honestly, then you can expand and say, okay, I am healthy in these areas, but what is one area where my health needs to be addressed? And I wrote down, and I'm sure if you are paying, I was told nobody could see it, and you notice more things on yourself than others do on you, usually, because you know that you have them. But I have some stuff going on with my teeth, and I am in fact missing a tooth. So there, I came right out and said that, being upfront, honest, transparent. There it is. Okay, but I am still continuing to make these videos because I want to, and it's important to me. And my music quit on me for some reason, so I'm going back into it and trying to see if I can get it to connect back up. It doesn't want to. Oh, there it goes. So back to what I was saying. That is one area that I need to address in my physical side of my health. There's also some emotional things that I'm working through. But that was, the question asked for one, and that was the one that came to my mind. So I think that's something that probably needs to be, that I need to address. Or it would not have come up as the one that I wrote down. And then the last question is, where do my thoughts about health disagree with the world's idea of health? And I wrote down weight and outside appearance, because in the outside world, most people equate health with how much you weigh and what you look like on the outside. And that may not necessarily be the whole entire truth, because you can look amazing on the outside, but on the inside you are a hot mess. Or you can look like you are a hot mess and you're like, oh, this person looks like they're just a train wreck, but actually they're quite happy and content, and they are a perfect health for them. So, just keeping that in mind. And then there is one more question I guess I see right here. What do I feel my potential is? What do I think my daily lifestyle potential is? And then the other side of that is, what do I feel my potential is? And what is the difference between those two answers that you came up with? I won't go into that. Well, actually, no, maybe I will. I wrote down, I have the potential to be in perfect health, but certain aspects and outer circumstances make it difficult for me to do so. What do I feel my potential is? I feel it is totally possible, and that I am the one getting in my own way, because I am getting in my own way. We all have the potential to be whole and complete and healthy the way Spirit intended. But we get in our own way with that, with our choices, our thoughts, and our actions, and our emotions, and how we let all of that affect us. But we are the ones that can choose to get out of it. So it's all like our choice. And then what's the difference between those two answers? Well, I wrote down, when I think of the second one, my heart lights up and I am inspired to make the changes necessary. So that was the difference for me. That one feels better. Like the other one, the first answer I gave seems kind of life negating and limiting. But when I brought my heart into it and how I actually feel about it, then I am like, oh, yeah, there is all this stuff, but I'm putting it there, or it was from a choice that I made, and I attracted that. So then that empowers me to say, okay, well, I can make a different choice. I can vibrate differently and stop attracting those blocks to my health and well-being. And I have the choice to make those changes necessary that I feel that I need to make. But it's always up to me to do that. No one can tell me to do that. No one can tell you to do that. It truly does need to come from you. All right, let's see. That was probably a longer talk than I anticipated, but full moon energy and it needed to be said. So, I feel like it's important for us, before we bring in the dragon cards, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle them here, get started, but before we bring all this in, I am going to go ahead and let's see. we're going to go ahead and do some breath work with our solar plexus. To clear and amplify and cleanse that energy of the willpower and the drive and where all of our action comes from, so that we can make heart-centered, loving actions and decisions and choices, and be grounded in this intense energy. Keep the ego in check. All right. Okay. All right. Those cards right there. Drink the water. Okay, here we go. So to start with, let's do the first part of the breath work. Put your hands in front of your heart and then prayer position. Sit up straight and just breathe all the way up through the root chakra and out the crown to connect to source and clear the energy pathway and open it. Okay, moving to the solar plexus. If you want to, you can put your hands over your solar plexus. It's just above, wherever you can find, just above your belly button. And put your hands there. You can put them on your lap. However it helps you to center your awareness in that energy center. And then I'm going to chant Om as I'm clearing this energy to help use the power and the power of the energy of my words and the intention. So and then to connect all of the energy centers and ground, we're going to breathe up through the crown, up through all the chakras again, out to the crown, and visualize that energy coming back down in a toroidal field, back down into your root chakra and down into the earth star chakra to ground all of this energy. And that's that. And when I was doing that, something came to my mind to pay attention to before we bring in the energy and the dragons that will help us integrate all this information and stay centered and grounded in this full moon energy. I was informed, I guess, that I need to remind you all and myself that we have a choice what energy and vibration we let into our field. to pay attention. So we need to pay attention to the energies that are floating out around us, especially during this full moon time. We need to pay attention and let that energy that doesn't belong and that is going to throw us off spiritually and energetically, let it bounce off, let it be transmuted and recycled, however you want to see that happening. Okay, so I was being called by hang on, need water. I was being called by spirit, as I centered and grounded before starting this video, and I'm going to do this every video now. I am going to check in and ask how many dragons and how much energy from that is actually needed at that time. And I was being told that we need to work with 2 today. So I am only going to draw 2 cards today. So we set the intention. Set the intention that the energy that is brought forth today be of service and resonate, and help us all with the points that I mentioned, in particular the movement of energy and emotion, balancing all of that, balancing all the aspects of our health and well-being, and to help us stay heart-centered and invite in new perspectives, especially with regards to our health in all aspects and where we belong, and to help us shift our perspective if needed, and also to facilitate the releasing of and transmuting of anything that does not belong within our energy fields. And to help us empty our backpacks. So it is. Okay. So the first dragon that is coming up is Royal Blue and Gold Dragon. All right. Royal Bull. So this dragon, let's find out what it has to say and how it can help us today with our full moon energy and navigating through that. Okay, well, how about that? Someone is really interested in the game, apparently. I hope that it goes good for them. All right. I wanted to have the window open for the fresh air. I had to. But I felt necessary to close the curtains. That I can do. Alright. So the royal blue and gold dragon strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken your own majesty. Wear your cloak of power with pride. Royal blue and gold are the colors of majesty, dignity, and illumined achievement. Royal blue and gold dragons carry these qualities and prompt us to stand in our magnificence and true power. These fifth-dimensional dragons come to us when they see royal blue and gold in our aura, indicating that we hold wisdom with power in perfect balance, which has been earned from our connections with the golden era of Atlantis. We may have been incarnate or in spirit at that time, but we were living or serving on a higher path. The dragons will swirl around us, reminding us who we truly are, and breathing light into our energy fields to reawaken our ancient gifts and talents so that we can utilize them once more in service. They will re-energize our cloak of power and wisdom so that we can wear it with pride. A royal blue and gold dragon is lighting up the gifts and talents you carry in your aura. It is breathing courage, support, and dignity into you so that you can wear your cloak of power and wisdom with pride. Most important of all, it is awakening you to who you truly are. It is enabling you to radiate your special light. This dragon is always with you. It holds the sword of truth, so Archangel Michael can enable you to speak and act with truth and honor at all times. It roars at those who try to diminish you and befriends those who empower you. You have all the support you need to teach divine majesty by example. Okay, what does this dragon have to tell us regarding all of the things that I spoke about and the energy of the full moon today? Energy that is being amplified as the moon reaches its apex. Okay. Affirmations. I am standing in my own power with wisdom. I am aware and awakened to my own majesty. And okay. So what's coming up is courage, support, and dignity. And remembering who we truly are so that we can radiate that light outward. We can draw on this energy to feel empowered when disempowering energies come to us from an outer source or from within that was triggered by the outer source or something going on inside of us from an experience or anything like that. If we are empowered, we are more likely to, in fact, listen to our hearts and be in the heart space and energy without fear. Fear will put us out of our heart. And when we're facing our fears, this is important while we're facing our fears, because we need to feel empowered so that we can do that, as well as have the courage to do that. And this energy will definitely support you and me in doing so. It takes a lot of courage to release and let go, so that's also important. This energy is important, will help with that. Oh yes, the thoughts become things in a new perspective, of course. it takes courage to look at your thoughts and then make peace with them and transform them. If you are in fear, you are not going to want to look at that, and then you're not going to want to, you're just going to want to ignore those thoughts and push them away. But, you know, I've heard a lot of times what you resist persists. So if you're going to constantly resist that thought, it's going to keep, you're giving your energy to it, and you're amplifying that energy, and it's going to get stronger. So, use this courage and empowerment to become aware of that, and then let it be there and pass through your consciousness and out. And once you do that, it usually, unless it's a strong one that, you know, is really ingrained into your consciousness, it will go away, because maybe it didn't come from you in the first place. Maybe it came from the energy field, from someone else. Because when you work up and practice your intuition, then you become like a beacon and a lightning rod to pick, like a radio tower to pick up on that signal. And so it's important to discern which thoughts are actually you and which came from somewhere else. And you only can do that when you're in your heart. So yeah, I'm thinking that is the message that we need to remember from this energy, and that is how it can help us. And it may become apparent throughout your day if you pay attention, for you personally, why this came forward. Because maybe I'm, you know, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's not immediately apparent, and you have to sit with that for a while, and then hindsight is 20/20, right? So, you know, you can apply that when you like look back at your day, and whenever you're watching this, and be like, you know, I see why that dragon came forward today, because that happens to me all the time. You know, sometimes it's glaring me right in the face. I'm like, yeah, I know exactly why this is here. And other times it's very subtle, and I am being asked to pay attention to my interactions and my surroundings throughout the day, and then at the end of the day, or some point in the middle of the day, then a light bulb clicks on, and I'm like, oh yeah, now I see, right? So yeah, that's just you know, little FYI, 2 cents kind of thing from my own experience. So now let's go ahead and call in the last dragon, since we're only doing 2 today. What other energy is needed today? For myself, the collective, everyone watching this video, the planet, to help us navigate through this full moon energy and the spiritual work we are being called to do at this time on ourselves. Okay, we have Deep Blue Dragon. Okay. Mr. Deep Blue Dragon, let's see what you have to say. All right. This energy will keep you safe by clearing your pathway Trust that you are protected and walk on a path of light. Deep blue dragons work with Archangel Michael, the angel of strength and protection. Dragons can delve into deep, dense matter in a way that angels cannot. They can clear and transmute lower frequencies up to 1 kilometer around those they work with. These frequencies may be our emotions and our thoughts, or the emotions and thoughts of people in our vicinity. Many of us are very sensitive and do not realize how much the vibrations of others impact on us. Every time we walk in a crowd, we are in a sea of mixed energies, and these deep blue dragons are our master clearance experts. They blow away the foggy vibrations, and then Archangel Michael can more easily connect with us and place his deep blue cloak around us. This card suggests that you call upon the deep blue dragons to protect you or your loved ones. Visualize a protecting army of deep blue dragons gliding in front of you wherever you walk or drive. Let them precede you into your home or office. Ask them to dive in to the ground below your house to consume all lower energies. Ask them to keep an area of 1 kilometer around you totally clear. Relax and trust this is happening. Because the deep blue dragons are transmuting the lower emotions of those in your vicinity, you are no longer moving through these dense energies of other people. Notice how much lighter and happier you feel. You can serve the planet by asking deep blue dragons to dive under your shopping malls, schools, big buildings, or anywhere you feel they are needed to consume dense vibrations. Okay. What messages and guidance am I meant to receive from this dragon and then share today? All right. So, affirmations. Keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Oh, oops. I am safe, and my pathway is clear. I trust that I am protected, and I am walking on a path of light. Okay. So, yeah, a lot of things jumped out at me this time. So, as we're working with our own energies, keeping in mind that we are also connected to everyone else on this planet, and the vibrations that are happening outside of us, it is super, super important to not allow those energies in to cloud our perceptions and our perspectives and implant fears into us. All the stuff that I talked about, the programming. Because we are being constantly programmed and bombarded with energy the minute that we wake up. Whether or not we are aware of it and whether or not we are actually out in it. Because, it travels in the field as energy, so it does not have the constraints of time and space. So, keeping that in mind, this energy will help you to be protected and transmute not only your own energy and emotions that are being stirred up with the full moon energy and anything else that you may be experiencing and being triggered by, but also what is coming at you from outside of your energy field. And it's pretty hard sometimes to discern which one is which. I sometimes have a hard time. But that's where being heart-centered and checking with your heart will actually help you. So let's see. This energy will blow away all those vibrations and put an energetic shield around us to help deflect those energies. Keeping in mind that it's also our choice to let that in, but we are less likely to let it in if we have put up an energetic shield. And this energy will help you do that. So you can also send this out to areas where there's a lot of dense energy, and it will help clear that energy for those people in those areas. So, you know, part of your own practice, if you wish, to be of service, and I think we can do this together, is, you know, we'll bring this dragon into our hearts and then let it, we'll bring this energy into us so that we can radiate it out and send it back out to where we need it to go. So that way that we can serve others also, because, you know, we are serving others, but first and foremost, at least by clearing our own energy and raising our own vibrations, but also there are ways to actually amplify that and with intent put it out there to help a specific person or situation. So let's see. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna take a drink of water. All right. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to take out my rose quartz here. I'm going to hold it on my heart because that will amplify the energy of love and harmony. So if you wish to follow along with me in this, go right ahead, or you can just listen. It is my intent to use this energy not only for myself, but to radiate it and send it out to those people and places that are consumed by heavy, dense energy, to lighten their energy load and to help them empty their backpacks and be free with this full moon energy. In particular, I want to send this energy to the place that I work at, as they are all consumed by a very dark, heavy, dense energy at the moment, at this time. I'm sending this energy to the people that work there, the patients that we take care of, any energy stored in the building, on the land, to help them rise up out of this dense energy. So we can heal ourselves and the people that we take care of. So it is. Okay. All right. So, so we are stopping there, because that is the energy that in fact needed to come forward. And now let's see what the predominant energy and dragon is for today that will help be, that can most help facilitate our healing and help us find a new perspective and become more balanced and whole on all levels. Well, it is the Deep Blue Dragon, so congratulations, Deep Blue Dragon. You win the contest. You are the one. So let this Deep Blue Dragon be with you, as well as the royal blue and gold dragon, as you navigate these energies today. And a quick prayer for closing, followed by breath work to connect and ground all of this energy. It is my intent with the help of Source energy to send this dragon and its energy out to the collective, these dragons and their energy out to the collective, to help us navigate through our own energies that are swirling and being mixed up, and the energies of others during this full moon, up until the apex, moment energy up until the apex in a couple of days, to help us stay heart-centered and honest in our hearts, so we can release and let go what no longer serves us, and find a new perspective and let our hearts lead our mind. Namaste. And so it is. Namaste. Okie dokie. I'll bring in a Tibetan singing bowl when I finally get one. But this is kind of cool. Let's do 369 because these are numbered. This is a I forget what it's called, but it's a special kind of drum. I hardly ever play it, but let's go ahead and do 369 to close. Is there a 9 on this? Because we have 1, 2, the numbers are kind of off. 1, 2, 3. Yes, there are in fact 3, 6, and a 9 on here. So let's do it. Yeah, I like it. I think we'll do that every time. All right. Let's go ahead and do the breath work. So I invite you to breathe in through your root chakra. Put your awareness in there. Bringing that awareness over to your sacral chakra. Breathing out and clearing that energy. Transmuting it. Breathe back in through the solar plexus. Oh, pardon me. Breathe back in through the sacral chakra. Move that energy up to the solar plexus. Breathe it out. Grounding all of that energy back down through the earth star and through the root chakra down to your roots, to the earth star chakra. Namaste.